I went back and revisited our episode 315 with Damndest. I went and revisited that today because I was listening to the record again, and I'm like, man, like I know we had to have talked about like this whole like atmospheric world building vibe, and we definitely did last time, you know. Yeah, and you guys, like, you stayed true to that, man, because the record is awesome. And
thank you very much.
it definitely immediately puts me into another world, and like I can see what you guys like. It's just the feeling that I get, you know, much like we talked about it last year with the singles, right? But to have this like big body of work that you guys just put out, and it's really good. It's really good. But before we get into the album, I want to play catch up, man, because it's been a year. It's been a year since I've talked to the both of you, and that's crazy because I didn't feel like it's been that long.
It doesn't. I feel like we were just here. It's crazy.
I know, it's awesome. It's awesome though too, right? Because you guys are like you're staying consistent. You're putting stuff out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
How's things going with Damndest?
Things are going good, man. Just put out the new record. What did we expect? I mean, we had started working on this for, you know, many years ago. So like some of the songs that you've heard already, like, are something more of our newer songs. And these are actually, this batch of songs, a lot of them I think are from even before all of the singles that we put out. So it's just like, it's been a process of like bringing everything together, getting it finished, putting the final touches, getting it all mixed and mastered. Yeah. So we've been putting in a lot of work.
Yeah, it's weird. We had all these sort of backlog of songs, and a lot of the singles were ones that we were more like, this kind of stands on its own. So these ones were kind of just like hanging out in the pool. And then one day we were talking, and it's like, you know what, let's just do I know that the modern philosophy is keep putting out singles, consistent. And I understand conceptually why people do that, but you know, we're kids of the 90s. We were like, let's just do a record.
Yeah.
You know, I know I mean, we get it. Like, I don't play a ton of records anymore like everybody else. We're over inundated with new things. And
I still do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome that you do. I mean, I find myself falling victim to, like, you know, you hear a new song and I move on to another song, and, you know, but it's like, I still appreciate the art form of a cohesive record. And we were able to say, like, damn, if we put these 10 songs together in this order, it really sounds like a body of work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it did. It's great. It's funny you say you're children of the 90s, because like it had 90 vibes all over it for me. Like,
awesome.
You got
I think that like those influences really came out.
You had like, I mean, you have this like, you know, I mean, it's what you guys do, right? It's this, you know, kind of post-punk, rock and roll, alt rock, however you want to describe it. But like in this album, like I was hearing like sprinkles of grunge here and there, and I like really appreciated that, because I was a grunge kid, you know what I mean? So, no, it was really good, and even like, I feel like just how you guys put the album together, and I know we talked about how I go deep on some of this stuff, right? But like, you have 2 interludes. Like, that's a 90s thing, you know what I mean? And like,
it is.
and I feel like they did the album justice too by having them where you did, because it kind of breaks things up a little bit, you know what I mean? And then like, what song was it? It was is it Home? You sample like a movie, right? Like movie samples. There's a few bands that still do that, and I love talking to them about it. So we're gonna get into that song too as we move on with the show a little bit, but yeah, just everything about it. And then your final track is almost like this acoustic-y, stripped down kind of slower. It's like that's right out of the 90s, right? That's like that,
100%.
Yeah, you always end with one of those, right? That's how you're supposed to do it, right?
That's the hidden track, but it's not really hidden.
Yeah, you don't do those hidden tracks anymore. So you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's still a few that do hidden tracks. It's pretty funny. When I do hear it, it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, but you know, if for if this wanted to go on a record, like you would have to have like an extra 5 minutes of space before that, and it just wouldn't work, right? So I like it. I like that you put it right on the end because it's like a little bonus song almost. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of where when we were planning it out, it was like we had all these different things. Like Tim had brought those interludes and he had them all worked out. And it was just like, well, what do you think we should do with this? And I'm like, let's just piece them throughout the record. I love that journey of like, we're gonna go up here, we're gonna come down here, we're gonna go, and just take a ride. And they were a very 90s influence feeling, but also giving a nice spacey progressive feeling to them too. So
Yeah.
Now, what was the sample from on Home?
man, I'd have to look it up, man. I forgot.
Yeah.
If you just spend enough time going through the catalog of royalty-free films,
Yeah.
and I really wanted it to tie in with the concept of the song, but I was going through so many things at the time. I'd have to go back and find out which ones they were from again. That's embarrassing that I don't remember.
That's all right. It's all right. No, I liked it. And again, like it breaks things up a little bit too, so.
Yeah, that wasn't really like that wasn't the intention at first. Like with the interludes, it was more like, can we turn these into songs? But I actually like when Mike had the idea of just making them like, break up the album. I think it does a good job of like, it's full on noise, and then you kind of have a moment to like kind of chill, and then it's right back in your face.
And I mean, like, they're not like they're definitely songs, right? They're 2 minutes long. Like interludes are little, but like I get what you were doing with it, and I love that, And I even like just how you like the song names and stuff. It all kind of just flows the way it needs to flow. It was.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
of course, and there was what was that other thing I was going to say about one of the songs on here? Oh, so I wanted to ask you this because I went back and I revisited episode 315, and I was listening to towards the end of the episode. We were talking about songs that you guys had in the I called it the treasure chest, right? And you were saying about because we were talking about like a full length and how things would work, and you were like, yeah, there's a couple songs that are kind of upbeat, like a little more upbeat. And I kind of feel like, were they on this album or are they different? Or is this a different batch?
I think that the two songs that would have been Anytime, Every Time, Every Place was one of the ones we were talking about. But we have another one called Ventura Dolphins that is still in the chamber. We haven't released that one yet.
Yeah.
It was too vibe similar to Every Time, Every Place that I was like, I think it'll be redundant on the record, but it'll be a good single later. It's got like a punk sort of vibe, still with our signature sort of post-punky feeling, but
Yeah. Because I know, like after Escapism, which is the what I'm calling the second interlude, right? Like Force of Habit and Every Time, Every Place definitely had it picks up definitely, from the rest of what was going on. And then you end with this, like I said, this like super stripped down kind of song at the end, and it was the bonus song, whatever. But yeah, it was awesome. It was a good listen. I was excited. Like when I think I might have emailed you right after I finally had a chance to listen to it. I'm like, this is great. Like,
we appreciate the kind words. Yeah, man. I mean, this has been a work in progress. Force of Habit. The story on that song is that Tim and I had played together like years ago, kind of went our separate ways for a bit, and then regrouped during COVID. And the first thing he sent to me was, hey, would you be interested in doing some remote work on some music? And he sent me what was the template for Force of Habit.
That was the song. We talked about it. We talked about that.
We did talk about that in the other one. Yeah.
That's the song.
That's Force of Habit.
Wow.
That's how
great. That's one of my favorite songs on the record.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, he's just a genius. I mean, he killed it, and I was like, but that's the same guitar riff that we went with. We just kept it very similar to that.
That guitar riff, anyway, that inspired the whole. Yeah, I just sent that song. Mike sent back the guitar leads on that one, and I was just like, wow. Okay, so this is a song now, and this is freaking 100 times better than it was before.
Yeah, so when we regrouped, we were just like, why don't we just do that song?
Yeah.
And that was the first, that recording is the first day we got back together that song's recorded.
Right.
Yeah.
Without the vocals yet, but that was the
And you
the
left
music
it in the
was
tank all this time.
all this time,
All
yeah.
this time.
Yeah.
Well, you put it on a good spot, I think. It's in
Oh, thank you very
yeah,
much.
yeah. No, it was really good. And again, because like it's got like, and when I like the grungy part of this album, really like it has like that kind of bleak feeling to it, that you know, like that kind of a grunge vibe. And then when you come out with After Escapism and Force of Habit kicks in, like it's like it gives you like a moment of hope. You know what I mean? Like kind of like as far as like vibes and stuff. And yeah, no, this was a great. I'm so happy you guys put out a full length, because like this was really good.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, yeah.
And like I said, it just has that like that 90s feel to it for me, which I absolutely love, because you know I am as well a product of the 90s, right? So
Yeah, it's
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's kind of funny because certain in songwriting, at least, like some of the DNA that you have in you, you don't even know that you have it in you, but you start putting stuff together, and you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely my youth coming back out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's that Smashing Pumpkins chord I worked on in 1995. Here's that thing, you know, that they just come out. You can't help it. You know, it's built into you.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
Or
Even the album cover really hits like a 90s vibe, I feel.
So
Leo's
yeah,
awesome.
Leo is an old friend of mine, and he's just such a talented artist. Leo Crowley. If anybody out there is looking for artwork, he's just so talented.
Yeah, is there a place to like, does he have like a
You know, he
online-
doesn't do his own art page. You can find him on Instagram. I think it's Leo X Crowley.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I mean, it's awesome. Like it's if this is his style, I love it, you know?
Yeah, he did this on kind of, because he did the first single that we did, the behind single, and I just was like, hey man, do a record for us if you can. And this is just like, he just did this. It wasn't something he had sitting around. So he's that good. He can just be like, all right, I'll fire something off for you. I sent it over.
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't be better. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. It's awesome. So let's catch up now. So since I already started in with the album, but we'll come back to the album. So is it just still you two, or you two, and sometimes Elena? Was that their name?
Alana, yeah.
Alana, yeah.
Yeah.
Alana was on a couple of these songs too.
Yeah.
So she's still contributing.
Cool. Yeah.
I think a big part of it during this year when we were kind of sewing everything up was that we were kind of just doing it piecemeal at a time, and Alana wasn't around as much as we would have probably loved her to have been around, and not through anybody's fault. Just timing didn't work out as well. And she's still a Damndest sister. Just, you know, we're going to have her in a lot more stuff over time, you know? And then, yeah, that's the only person that worked on it for the most part. Frankie, who drummed on a lot of the tracks, now lives in Australia. So he was I think we talked about it on the first one. He was in the early incarnation of Damndest and has moved on since, you know?
Yeah, he helped record a lot of these early songs too.
Very talented guy.
He had a recording studio, and, you know, he's just such a whiz genius.
Now, did you guys happen to do any live shows this past year?
Still no.
Still no?
All right,
That's all right.
The one goal we didn't achieve over the year.
That's all right. That's all right. You guys will get there, you know. Make sure you
it's
tell
really
me
just
when you do. All right. Like seriously, like I want to come check you guys out when you do.
for sure.
Oh, you'll be the first person to know, believe me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's yeah. So I mean, because we had talked about that, right? And like, yeah, I think the kind of game plan was like to try to find a full band before you went out and did it, but you could do it if you had to, or you know.
Yeah, we were kind of just talking about that too. It's like, I don't know if our network is as deep as it used to be when I was younger, and I used to be at the Middle East every other night, and, you know, at the Model and all those places. Like, you know, you used to know a million musicians around town, and now all the guys that I used to play music with have kids, and we're all just grown up. And, you know, you're like, oh yeah, how do we find a drummer? You're like, where do you find these people nowadays?
It was like 6 drummers, and that's it.
That's it, right? It's true. Tim being one of them, and I need him on the guitar, and he needs to be on the, you know. So it's tough. It's tough.
Every drummer I know is in at least 3 bands. So,
Yeah.
you know, Yeah.
Even my close friends that are, they're all in bands. He's always like, yeah, we can come help one of these days. And you're like, I can't nail this kid down. It's hard.
Yeah. That's one of the drawbacks of being an adult, I guess. It's a bummer. It's a bummer.
It is true.
This whole adult this post 40 shit is really fucking getting under my skin. Being sick, and everything, and like I'm like, man, this sucks, man. Bills suck. Like I couldn't wait to grow up. Now I'm like, can I just go back, like just a little bit?
I mean, you do start to see why it's a young person's game in some ways, because they have that time to just, we were talking about like, you do a gig. I remember we were talking about 20 years plus years ago playing a show at O'Brien's and there was 0 people there, but you were like, no, man, we got to get out there. We got to play as many gigs. We got to network. And now you're like, I don't want to be at O'Brien's on a Monday night by myself. You know what I mean? It's like, we got to, I got to work tomorrow morning. It is sad that you kind of get to that place where you're older. And
yeah, sometimes I can get out there on a weeknight, but not lately. It's been tougher. I have to. My wake up is 4 a.m. for work now. So I went from working overnights to working mornings and at a different place. And I'm like, it's a little bit of a drive. So it's like,
You wrap up earlier.
I get home. I get home around 3-ish, 3:30. I gotta leave. I gotta leave by 5 a.m. so I can make it to work on time without hitting all the traffic going into the city and shit. So getting out of work, sometimes sometimes it's a challenge, like because there's just too many people on the road going home. But I make do, and I'll say this, like, other than being sick recently, but like health wise, going from working a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. job to a cozy 6 to 2:30 ish job is awesome. Like, like it's done wonders. Like being able to see the sun, I'm a little less depressed, a little more, a little more rambunctious about stuff, and it's been different. It's been different.
I did something similar like a year and a half ago where I went from nights to days, and it is a game changer. And I always was like, no, I'm a night owl, and then you're like, I feel so much better now, being in a sort of more normal schedule, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like, wow, like I'm missing, and I feel like I have more time. Like I have more time in a day to do things, even though like my schedule before was like, you work 2 days, you got 2 days off. You work 3 days, you got 2 days off. Then you got 3 days off. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I think this was maybe I just needed to get a little older to appreciate the day shift stuff. But it's going all right, man. It's going all right. But I'm like, man, I really want to go out to this show on a Tuesday night, and I'm like, I really got to weigh my options. Like, okay, it's in Malden, and I live, near Providence, so it's like, I don't know if we're making it to that one,
100%, 100%. Yeah, the amount of no's I start passing on because of like, I gotta get to bed.
Yeah.
It's a lot,
work night.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, but anyway, so were any of these songs newish, or were these all older songs? Like, were any of them written after we talked last? Let's go with that.
The intro was written after we talked last. So
and then how do you say it?
Capsaicin C, that one was written more recently. But
Capsaicin C, that's a tough one to say.
Yeah.
I still don't want to pronounce it. I'm like, Tim, you say it.
Yeah. We had like kind of we were naming songs after hot peppers for a while.
For a while.
And yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the Hungarian wax.
Yeah.
I was waiting for one of those to pop up. I never saw it though. So
it's funny, right at the last second, all the song titles changed from like Jalapeno, Carolina Reaper, to normal song titles. But that one was just kind of a throwback.
There you go. Oh, is that a pepper?
I guess it capsaicin. That's like the spicy part. Like I think that's what makes your.
Oh, I didn't even ask you this. That's interesting. We're learning together.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so
sounds really cool.
What about this? I have another note here from last year.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were gonna film putting 2 songs out, like getting them kind of situated and putting them out like a little documentary thing. Did you?
Oh yeah. Well, we have all the video for that. I mean, we've captured a ton of video.
Yeah, we just haven't really put it
We just
together yet.
haven't put it together, but we could. Yeah, we'll have to get
That would
cracking.
be. I would like to see that. I think that would be an interesting. We talked about like kind of the making of or behind the scenes of it. You know what I mean? And
We also talked about Tim has a camp. How would you describe it up in upstate New York? That we talked about
just
going
like
up.
It's like a camp out in the woods. My in-laws have like a camp out in the woods
Mhm.
up in upstate New York.
And we kind of talked about going up there and maybe doing like a let's see what we could write, like escape trip.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And that would be, I think that would be the documentary, would be like, we're going to go up there with no material and see what we come up with. And we haven't nailed it down yet, but we've definitely talked about that.
Well, how you guys write together, I think that would be perfect. Like that would be a perfect thing.
Yeah, I like the like there, you said there's like the phone service is even spotty there. Like you'd be like, we have to record. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Like go to the
part
local.
of New York.
It's a place called Bradford, New York. So it's like south of Rochester, maybe like
Okay.
hour and 45 minutes south, something like that.
Okay. So like, is it around Buffalo or is Rochester south of Buffalo?
Yeah, I'm not sure where it is in proximity.
Yeah.
Buffalo's kind of near Rochester because I was up there
is.
last summer for a little bit. And
I just don't remember if Rochester's first and then it's Buffalo or if it's
maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't. It's too. Like I don't like the weather we get here. I'm not going to Buffalo. So
I don't know.
Sorry, Chris. My producer's from Buffalo.
Really?
Yeah, and he always comes out here, and I'm like, sorry, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's pretty deep up there in the cold. So
lake
that's a summer trip.
Lake effect snow is crazy.
Yeah, because he was like, you should come up in February. I'm like, wouldn't that be a really bad time to come up?
Yeah,
we'd get stuck there for a week, right? And he was like, yeah, kind of, yeah. So,
but yeah, that's something that I do want to do soon because I think it is really fun to watch the process of any. I'm a nerd into that stuff. Like, show me your process, show me what you do, and we do some things that I think would be interesting. I would imagine people would find interesting in the process. You know?
Yeah. I always wanted to go away, like what you guys are talking about, like go somewhere where your phone doesn't really work and then work on something. You know what I mean? Like I one day I'll be able to do that, but like because to me, like that's awesome. Like being able to like my time spent right outside of Pittsburgh, all I did was write because I didn't know anybody. You know what I mean? So basically, I used it for that time, but and then. Other than work and stuff like that. But no, that would be really cool to do, you know, just to kind of get away and just kind of see what comes up. And like it could be good, right? It could be awesome. It could be no different than any other time, but it could be awesome, you know?
Yeah, I have no fear that we wouldn't be successful to some capacity of writing some, some great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because you guys you write in the room a lot, right? Isn't that kind of like how you guys kind of do it? Like,
I think we usually like someone will come in with a bunch of the part of the idea, but it really doesn't feel like much until we get together. Like, there's been times that, like, if you saw, and part of the idea originally of the documentary was I wanted to show how bad they sound with me sitting in my living room playing, like, humming a melody, and then juxtapose over to the actual full song and vice versa. Like you'd be like, oh my God, that sounds like shit, to, oh wow, that's how that process went from us walking into the room back when Frankie was there. He would kind of get the drum beat worked out, and the next you're like, wow, that came from this terrible demo.
Right.
So yeah, it's we have a good ability to really hammer it out.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be good. And plus, like I like that stuff. I went to last year I went to Pooza Fest up in Montreal, and I read a book. And like I love reading, but I never have time. But I was on like my little vacation. I read the book in like 2 days. It was awesome. I actually I usually do audiobooks because I'm always on the move. You know what I mean? Yeah. So being able to like sit down with a book and read it was like amazing, and I felt totally refreshed. So like doing anything, getting away from just the monotony of life and doing something that you love, whether it be creating or reading or just going to check out other bands like we were doing at Puza, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's an experience, you know, like I've always had I've always had this dream of like, it won't ever happen because all my friends now they're all shitbags, and you know what I mean. Like, but like when we were younger, I'm like, I wanted like that big chill kind of like, you know, the movie The Big Chill. Like, I wanted like that, like let's all go away and just kind of like get away from everything. Because a lot of my friends are creatives, and like, and I'm like, yeah, let's just go get away and work on whatever we're working on, and like have fun, and like, you know, put our phones in a bag, and like if you look at your phone more than twice a day, you got to buy dinner or drinks or whatever, and you know what I mean. And like everyone's like, yeah, 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 but none of my shitbag friends want to do any of that. You know, they always blew me off.
It is tough. It is tough.
You know,
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's in and like. Well, some of them have families now, so they're not so shitbaggy. But you know, the other ones who just didn't do it because they're whatever, I'm like, they're shitbags to me. You know, so
Yeah, I get it. It actually is tough as you get older too. Like you get very lucky when you find someone you can partner up with to work on projects. Because most people, you do just sit around and you're like, we should, you know, it never happens, you know. So it's good when you find somebody like minded to be like, if nothing else, let's get a record done. If nothing else, get a song done. It's rare, you know, as you get older, especially.
yeah,
But even
yeah.
with younger people,
Yeah. So how do you? So tell me how you guys balance life and being able to get together and write and do stuff like that. Maybe I can give some of these pointers to my shitbag friends. You know.
It's just like we just were pretty good about setting aside a day a week. Like sometimes, you know how they say when you do your New Year's resolution, don't say I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week all year. Like you're probably not going to do that, but like we set aside like a realistic goal. Let's just get together 1 day a week, and we'll try and get as much done as we can on that day. And we're not going to like try to do, you know, this heroic Herculean thing. And you can get a surprising amount done if you just like have small digestible goals like that. That's like kind of how we did a lot of this stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, it's the consistency more than the like just like they say about working out. Like consistency is going to beat like anything, you know, is just showing up when you plan to show up. So we just make an effort to do that. Um, you know, and once we have the goal in mind, we just, you know, let's see it through. We just make sure we see it through.
Yeah.
You hear that? You hear that, Greg, Russ,
Hey,
Beppo?
Greg and Russ.
Just fucking show up. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do that.
Give me 1 day, just 1 day a week.
Not even give me 1 day, fucking every 3 months, you shitbags. Oh man.
Not to get too like not morbid, what's the word I'm looking for, but like, you know, I do also look at the finality of life and you're like, I want to get certain things accomplished. I want to put out a record. I don't want to get to your deathbed and be like, oh, if I never put that record out, I never finished the great American novel. I don't want to say those things. So it's like, I can give you a day. I can show up, you know, I can finish this.
Right. Yeah.
Right on. You know, I never asked you guys this the first time, but I'd love to know like what does making music do for you, like internally?
Man. I don't know. I think just that it's like you have this creativity inside of you and you just need an outlet for it, you know, like, and if you don't do anything with it, you just feel miserable and depressed, you know. So, you know, making the music and getting your creativity out and writing songs and doing that kind of thing, it's just it fills you with, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it just kind of, it's like, you know, you feel like you have to do it. And if you're not doing it, you just kind of like you're not being your best self. So I guess that's what it does for me.
Yeah, it's kind of a curse because you're putting this energy into something that you kind of have to do. Like if I'm not doing something musical, and I've gone through long periods of life where I haven't, I'm not right. I don't feel good. You know, something's off. And the minute I start playing again, I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. It's like, you know, I didn't drink water all day, and then you have the glass of water, and you're like, oh, that's so dumb. That's what I needed to have.
Mhm.
But I mean, you know, it's really an exercise in your own prison. I'm doing this because I have to, and it's like there's no financial compensation out of it. It's like, you know, all the things that we need to get by in life. It's like you still got to work your day job, you still got to do all these things, but there's this ghost hanging out on the side of me being like, you got to do this. You have to do it. If you don't do it, like you said, you're not your best self. So it relieves that. And then, you know, when I hear a song that we just killed, I'm like a little baby. I get all like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. Like there was different periods during the recording, especially when like you know, as you listen to the record, there's all these like Tim and Alana come in with these vocal harmonies, and you're just like, holy shit, that is like 100,000 times better than I ever would have imagined this was going to sound. And it's like this creation that just takes on life of its own, you know, and that's the part of it that's like a, you know, because we each write, you know, songs and whatnot, and then you just have the other person do it, and you're like, wow. It's just I don't know. I'm probably just rambling at this point, but
No. Keep going. I like that. Like, yeah.
well, it's just it's a you know, it's like, what do they say about like life, where it's like you're putting something into this world, you're giving, you know, when you're creative, you're giving something to it, and I don't know if it's going to one person that hears it or 8 million people, and maybe one day you'll be the next, you know, Picasso not Picasso, Van Gogh, that nobody cared about until you're dead, and fine, 10 generations from now they'll be like, oh, this Damndest, you ever hear this? It's pretty good. But it is, you know, and then there's also the collective unconscious, and, you know, you're, I don't know, I can start going pretty deep on the psychology of it, but, yeah, it's incredible. It's an incredible feeling when you hear the song come out and all the parts, the sum of all parts get together, and you're like, I just didn't even dream this would be this good.
Yeah, so I get the very similar feeling, and when I'm not doing it, like I'm miserable, and I think I might have mentioned that last time, but like it's I'm at the point now, because I'm, like I said, I'm into my 40s, and like I'm like, why wasn't I doing this whole time? And like I think part of the reason, like part of the reason why this podcast is what this podcast is because like I want to beat home to people like, hey, like do that thing, you know what I mean, like write that song, or write that story, or you know, write that book, or whatever, you know, go to that show, like, because like you said, like, you know, we only have one of these lives, right? Like we and once it's over, and like, and maybe because I'm getting older and like dealing with shit, like I'm thinking about my own like mortality a little bit more, like, because I mean I really do, like, yeah, I feel like yesterday I was, you know, 33 and running amok, you know what I mean? Like just running around, having fun and hanging out and doing all sorts of things. But then, like, and then that's fine. But like, I got to the point where, like I said, I wasn't really, well, in my 30s, I was writing again, but like in my 20s, I didn't. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like I'm behind. I'm behind. You know what I mean? Like I have too much now. I have so much I have to get done now because I wasn't doing it this whole time. And like, it's all there. One of the things we talked about last time was like, because you asked me how do I come up with like a story idea, and I see like a movie in my head, and like they're all still there from when I was in my 20s, like they're all in there. I just need to, you know what I mean, I just never have the time, like I got to find the time to get them out, but as you get older, it's a little tougher to find. So I do things like I was saying, like I was supposed to record the rest of this audiobook that I was putting together, and at least I wrote it, right? The book's written. Like,
hell yeah, man! I can't wait to hear it.
It's not big. It's you know, I figured, I'm like, you know, because I ended up splitting it up. So I have these two things, like these two projects that I was going to put together, and then I was like, well, here's the thing, like, how much bleak like essays are people going to want to hear from someone they never heard of? So I was like, let me put out one small one, and then I'll put out the other one, and then when I release it, when I decide if I'm going to release it in print, I'll put them together then, you know what I mean? So
hell yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, so like I'm always working, so it's just for me, if I'm not doing the thing, like I'm not happy, you know. And like I have a decent job, I like where I work, I love the people I work with, you know, the people I work for, and like that's awesome, and like and that's cool, but like it's not me, you know what I mean? Like, and it's tough to kind of like
There's like another side to you.
yeah. Yeah, and there's a
Yeah.
couple people who know that I work with, like so one of the gentlemen I work with, like we've worked together before, and he came to a show with me once, and him and his wife, and we're at Faces in Malden, and like all these people were like coming up and saying hi, and he was like, Trev, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? Because I was like, oh, that's they're in this band, they're in this band, you know what I mean? So
Sure.
he's like, and so then like I kind of told him about the podcast and everything, and like, you know, and at the time he was my supervisor, and I'm like, I don't want him knowing that I have this podcast, but like I told him, and like he was like super into it, and like he's someone I could talk about writing with, you know what I mean? So like yeah, so it's like, so not a lot of people know that side of me, like outside of like in work and everything, but like some do, and they know that like I'm a big creative kid, and like, you know, I'm fucking 45, but you know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I completely. I still think of myself as a kid too. I'm
that's
sure.
the thing. I still feel like creating like kind of keeps me young in a way too. I feel,
Yeah.
you know,
Totally.
Yeah, and the
So-
beauty of it is it's that part's free except for the time. You know what I mean? It's like we can do this forever. There's no stopping us from ever having to be creative. So it's great that, you know, when you have that talent and you possess it in you, because a lot of people are just not creative, which is wild to think. But some people,
see, I don't know if they're not creative or they're too afraid to be
That's
creative.
possible.
Yeah,
too.
I mean that's kind of like the boat that I was in for a long time. I mean, I played guitar back when I was in high school, and I never was in any bands. I always wanted to be in a band. I always wanted to write songs. I would occasionally write some songs on the computer, never release anything. And then eventually, like you touched on this too. You're like, oh, you know, time is running out or something like that. You know, I got to a point where I was like, you know, I really want to like do this. You know, I'm tired of just being afraid and not doing it, you know, or like fear of failure, and you know, so I'm just not going to do that. It's like you just got to dive in and you just got to do it, you know, and you know, release the bad songs and then get on to the good ones and then get on to the better ones, you know. And it also helps having somebody else who's like, you know, encouraging, and you can kind of work together, and like it's not like you have to do all the things, you know.
Mhm,
Kind of
mhm.
collaborate with somebody, and you know, it's awesome.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's rare to find a creative partner, like what you guys have, and that's awesome. It's cool to see that, like,
It's very rare to find someone that you can work well with.
Yeah.
And we don't ever have disagreements about anything. I mean, it's just like, what do you think? I mean, if anything, it's like, but like rarely.
Yeah.
And we were also like so egoless in things where it's like, I can't come up with anything. You got anything better? And he's like, yeah, I guess I'm this. Like, yep, that's better. Let's just go with that. There's no like, no, I got, it's like, yours is way better than mine. Let's just do that, you
Mhm.
know? And that's very, very good to be able to be confident enough in not only your own limitations sometimes, but somebody else's talent. And you're like, yeah, I think Tim's going to be able to nail this way better than I am. So go nuts, you know?
Yeah, we've had songs exactly like he's describing, and then we've had ones where we just can't come up with some idea, neither one of us, and we just are like, all right, let's just move on to the next one, which
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you that, like, do you guys go song by song, or do you do like a handful of songs at once? You
I think it's
It's like
kind
a
of been
song
song
by
by
song.
song. Yeah, for the
Yeah.
most part. Yeah.
and if a song's not clicking, we're pretty, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but we're like pretty quick to be like, okay, that one's not working. Like, let's just move on to the next one, you know, and
Well,
we'll come back to that one.
which we have. And then like
Yeah.
you listen a year later and you go, wait, I now hear what we weren't
Yeah.
hearing
what,
that
what
day.
we weren't getting out of it. Yeah.
It didn't click on that day, but then I've listened back to things that I thought were awful at the time. Like, oh, this just didn't come out great. And then you're like,
Yeah.
wait, this has got a good nugget of an idea. I think we just need to reapproach it now with fresher ears.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you're right. We just, if it's not clicking at that moment, it's like, let's just move on. Like there's no point in, you know, sweating over something. Like there's no lack of material.
Yeah.
Like why sweat over it?
And it's
Yeah.
like we set aside that one day, and it's like we're not going to spend the whole day trying to like
Dwelling on that one thing. Yeah.
put on the shoe that's just not fitting, you
Right.
know, like we
Right.
just move on.
I
Oh,
think
it's-
like between the two of us, we probably have another like 100 songs that we could start. It's just like, where's the time? I have so many demos in my phone just of me sitting in my underwear with a guitar writing, you know, just a quick like, let me remember this, that we would never run out of material. So there's like no point in dwelling on something that stinks,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or isn't
yeah.
working at the time, not stinks.
What was that?
There's no like there's so much material that we haven't even touched upon yet that there's no point in dwelling on something that's not clicking, you know.
Yeah. So let's talk. Let's go back to the album a little bit. Well, I don't even think we said the name. What did we expect is the name of the album, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the name. Where did that come from?
Was that from Leo?
That was Leo. He just wrote it on the
Okay.
album, and we fooled around with a couple of album idea names, and then we looked at it, and I was like, "How about this? Why don't we just do this?" We couldn't think of anything better than that.
I like it. It's good. You know. So like I think it was I think Games really gave me like a grungy kind of vibe. I think it was Games.
Yeah, I think that Tim that's got a drop D tuning, but we also did what was the alternate? We tuned up
I
the
even
step.
forgot what the tuning was, but just messing around with alternate tunings.
Yeah, he came in with a drop D tuning, which is very 90s, but then tuned a step up on the bottom two strings, and it was like, ooh, that sounds phenomenal. And I remember when we were working on that in the studio, I think you had the other parts all kind of different. It was like one part was a verse, but the other part was a chorus. And as we recorded it, it just sort of, I think I was humming to it. It was like, oh, no, just put it in this order. And then we just sort of like restructured it there. And that's the only song on the record that I think we both evenly like sort of put like melody versus music together, where he did all the music, I did the melody. And it just like, oh, okay, wow, that worked out awesome. And it definitely has that grungy feeling to it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it was good, man. This is, like I said, this album's solid, and like I didn't expect anything less either. Like I knew you guys were gonna put out, you know what I mean? Like I like, and it was like in the past where you guys would do like the 2-song EP or you know, a single here, and like I loved them, but like I'm like, oh, I just want more. I just want to be able to sit down and just hear it, and I got it, and I was like, yes.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Is there any you guys thinking about doing any kind of physical release for it? I know we talked about that in the past too.
I would love to, but it's just, again, it's like the investment. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I was just thinking when you were talking about the journey of listening to the record, and I remember being a kid with Appetite for Destruction or something, and like pulling out the tape sleeve and like reading every tiny, what's that?
The accordion J card.
Exactly.
Thing? Yeah.
And the smell of the tape. And it's like, I loved that feeling as a kid, but I'm like, there's no kids gonna do it now. So it's like, you know, do we invest $1,000 into some tapes? And I don't know, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's tough. I'm just you know, I'm a physical media guy, so I'm always like, oh, I want to hear what this would sound like. And I think
they do like vinyl where you can just make them one at a time now. So we talked about
we did talk about that, yeah.
Like, because like if you have a bunch press, then it's super expensive, and
yeah. You
we
can
could just
get
do
like a couple
short run or something.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I was just wondering, because I know we had talked about that in the past too. So I was just seeing where your guys is at. And I think, you know, one day maybe, you know, it would be cool. You know, I think it would be like just that artwork on an album would look really cool too. You know.
I know we've talked about like what would be the inner sleeve and what would be on the back. And
so all right, like, you guys, it's all we
definitely want to do it. It's just, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
if you haven't played, like, you know, you need to play out to sell records, right? Like you gotta,
and we've talked about a lot of, you know, AI's sort of, you know, encroachment into music, and I think that physical media is going to return sooner than later, because it's going to get swamped with the internet's just going to get swamped more and more with bullshit, you know, AI, what's real, what's not. And I think people, especially in like what is not Gen Z, but what's the one younger than that? There's like the new generation coming up,
Oh yeah.
and they're even more physical media, physical meetups. Like they're kind of just like going backwards, and it's like there's a door for it. We're just at this like we're not at the end yet where it's like, I think putting out records might be beneficial because I think people would buy them yet. You know what I mean? It just hasn't gotten there, but it's getting closer, I think.
That's an interesting take. I didn't think about that. Like,
well, there's going to be a point where you're going to not be able to trust anything.
No, you can't trust. I'm already at that point. Like videos, I have no idea. I'm like, I can't trust if that's a real video or not.
Well, I have people laughing at me being like, dude, that's AI. I'm like, oh, there's a monster swallowing a person. Did this happen? They're like, dude, no. But it looks so realistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how long before they have this episode of the show, but we're both saying like, you know, insane things that we didn't say. And it's like, you can't trust anything you see on the internet anymore. We're going to have to do like live interviews again. And, you know, like one-on-one discussions, like that's kind of cool in a way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love it. I want to do in-person like interviews still, but like, since we started video last year. I think you guys might have been one of the first videos I put out.
Cool.
So ever since we did that, I'm like, well, until I got a film crew with me.
No, 100%. 100%.
It'd be awesome to do. I would like to get back to that. Cause like when it was just audio, I could have someone here and, you know, in my little studio, you know, and we could just like hook things up and go. But like, video, now I'm thinking about camera angles and I'm thinking about editing. Oh man, like
no.
we'll get back. But I think you're right though. I that's an interesting take about like how like people, especially artists, are reacting to AI. That it might go back to physical media. It might just have to be that way. Like
I think that newspapers, I think especially, it's like, you're going to have verified sources. Like Bandcamp just recently said you're not allowed to use AI in music on their platform. So you're like, okay, well, theoretically, that's one place I can go, and it's human beings making music. I mean, we don't know if offline they're just having AI write the song for them, but okay, at least we can say human beings are playing it. But it's like the news, anything else. It's like even AI is going to start using fake AI stories to aggregate, and you'll never know. So it's like, you're going to have to go somewhere to be like, these CDs are pressed by people. This is done by people. Because unless you want to just consume, you know, robots, you know, it's like you're going to have to get some sort of physical media, or at least websites that are like trusted and verified. Like we know this is Damndest doing it, not the fake Damndest record that AI did, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. So I stopped. I don't use Spotify, and it was the only reason why is because like I don't like the sound quality that Spotify puts out. I remember one time they sent me an email. They're like, "Would you pay for better sound quality?" And I was like, "Fuck you! I'm not paying you anything." You know. So I like Bandcamp because I can download, like, you know, I can get the WAV files and, you know, and just streaming Bandcamp. It's a better sound quality than what you hear. You know what I mean? So I mean, right now, let's see. Let's just I have 907 titles in my collection on Bandcamp.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, that's cool. You're like a devoted.
I have so many. Like I go there. Like I'll buy records from there. You know what I mean? And awesome. Something happened because so iPhone used to not let you buy from Bandcamp like digital stuff through their app, but now you can.
Oh,
so
cool.
so like. I'm like, all right, cool, you know. But I will say recently I got an Apple Music like 3-month free thing, or 3 months for like $3 or something. I wanted to listen to some like 90s hip hop that I couldn't find anywhere.
Sure.
So you know what I mean? So it's worth it for that.
Yeah, of course, man.
No, that's an interesting take. I think you're right. I think I hope it goes back to like physical, like, all right, well, let's bring back record stores. Like there's still some out there, but like, you know, let's bring back getting weird on the radio again. You know what I mean? Like let's
I did see an article recently too about college radio actually for the niche audience still does thrive in a way because everything's algorithms and there's no human being saying, hey, this is good. And it is tough enough to get a human being to like listen to Trev's audiobook. And then it's like, out of the 8 billion audiobooks there, it's like, why does anybody go here? It is still nice to have a person go, no, this is a good audiobook. Listen to it. And that I think is going to come back too in a way, because you can't trust the algorithm. It's all paid for. You know, sure, you can pay a human too, but I'm just saying, you know, like.
No, you're right. You're right. It's anytime I'm listening to something and then I know it's like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Like once the album's over, I'm like, why is it going to something else? And it's something I don't like. I don't want to listen to, you know? So
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. So, all right. With that said, are you guys streaming everywhere? Is this album everywhere? Yeah.
Not everything.
You have to. I don't fault anybody. When people get mad at people, one of the biggest problems with our country is people get mad about the littlest of things, and it's like why? Like you're not like don't like as they're typing from their iPhone, right? Like calling people out for having their music or listening to Spotify from their iPhone. Like, let's think about how that iPhone was made and then get back to me. Right. So, but like, I don't fault anybody for using any of the streaming services, whether they're listening or consuming music, or if they're out there putting their music. Because if you don't put your music on there, the chances are people aren't going to hear it. It's just how, you know what I mean? Like, and you need like that. It's just
you got to go where the audience is.
Yeah. Now I get mad when people don't put their shit on Bandcamp for me to buy. I'm like, hey, I want to purchase this, and you're not. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I think I told someone on Threads, a musician on Threads, was like, should I put all my music on Bandcamp? I'm like, unless you're like really into fractions. like unless you really love fractions, you know, then don't put it on Bandcamp. You know, I don't know what else to tell you, but so they did. And I went and bought it right away because of that conversation.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to limit yourself anyway. Like, why wouldn't you want to put it on Bandcamp? What's the downside? I guess.
Yeah, because people don't think it's going to get like, you know, well, maybe because they can't buy AI streams, right, or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
maybe I don't know, but like if you want like
that's a great point.
Bandcamp, I mean, you're still, even without Bandcamp Fridays, like you're still getting like 89% of the fucking sale, right? So,
yeah,
like just put it there. Just let me buy it. Like there are people who prefer Bandcamp for the other streamings for more than just they don't like the sound quality on Spotify like me. You know what I mean? Like people want to buy, like they want to help the band. They want to help the musician. Like,
I still buy vinyl from bands that are, you know, mid-level, though, they're not, you know, on yachts with Ozzy Osbourne in the 80s. You know what I mean? They're not making that kind of money. So I don't sit at home and put on vinyl a lot. But to me, it's like, let me support the band. And it's great that I have it. So I don't know why anybody would want to not give themselves at least a shot to like, here's a place to park the music and.
Right. Exactly. I just don't get it. I just don't get why people like shy away from it, and like it just doesn't make any sense.
And they don't have those stupid things like, you know, social media and Spotify and all these other, you know, whatever. They have to do this odd thing where it's like, let me show you how many listens have happened and how many people and how many followers you have. And it's like, you know, it's almost like, oh yeah, here's who we know is cool and here's who's not. And it's like, I think like the metric I saw was if you have more than 10 monthly listeners, you're in the top 3%. That's how much music gets flooded out there. And it's like, why are we embarrassing people? Why don't, you know, it's hard enough to get anybody to pay attention anyway. Why they have to like be like, but you suck. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just bizarre to me.
Well, we were just talking before about how you got to have some resilience to that kind of thing.
Yeah, you do.
When you're in the music business, you're like, you know, if you get down by your followers and listens and everything, like, don't do it, because
don't look at that stuff. Don't
look at it.
Be the artist. Just make your music and put it out there and let people. They're gonna find it. You know what I mean? They'll find it. It might, like you said, it might take a while, but you know.
Well, the beauty of it is too, is the ones that, you know, what always makes me do, if on the contrary side is what makes me feel good when you do see it, is that the people that do review it and look at it, they're like, say really nice things. And you're like, okay, so like, you know, not that we need to be validated, because I feel like we were talking earlier too, and it's like, we love it. So we know it's good. Everybody else's opinion's up to them, but we know it's good. But it's nice to see that, like, oh yeah, if people give it a shot, they'll probably like it, and and if not, that's fine. But yeah, you can't also take the rejection side of it as anything. It's just move on.
Did I see someone reviewed this one?
Yeah,
Did I see
we've
a
done a
review?
couple so far. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, how does that work? Do they just find it, or do you have to submit? Or
That's the labor of love, my man. You're sending out email after email. Talk about if you are objecting to rejection, you're in the wrong world. You send thousands of messages out, and if you're lucky if you get back 1% of even, like, who knows if they even open the email. You know what I mean? It's just like you just throw as many out there, and then the people that, like, I think you responded to our email originally, like, it's like hopefully someone does.
yeah, yeah. I try to get back to everybody.
Oh, that's so cool of you.
It's awesome.
It's sometimes it's tough, and like sometimes like and that's the selfish part of my podcast, right? Like I'm listening, like I am gonna have people on that I enjoy their music, like
Yep, sure. Of course.
Now, with that said, when people send me stuff and I don't know who they are, when they cold call, like I'll look at it, I also have like I'm a little bit of a weird about it. Like if I want the email to kind of be somewhat like not professional, but like don't be like, yo, what's up, man? Like, can you just check this out or whatever? Like I get messages like that and I just don't answer them because like
Sure. Like be somewhat coherent and professional. Yeah.
Someone who like what you guys did, like you put together something and you sent it to me and like you came at me in a you know what I mean? Cause like I mean, I'm nobody. I'm just some fucking jackass, you know what I mean, who talks on online. But I still like I don't know. I feel like if someone doesn't present their work to me in a proper way, like how am I supposed to take that serious? You know what I mean? Like if they're not, you know what I mean? So sometimes I don't get back to people for that. And if I'm not feeling the vibe, like I'm not gonna have someone on to shit on. I'm not gonna shit on somebody.
Yeah,
you
good
know what I
point, right.
mean? And I'm not that kind of guy anyway. Like this, I used to when I used to write reviews and stuff, like my biggest thing is like I have to take my opinion out of the review. Like I might at the end be like, this wasn't for me, but like I still make sure I give them a fair shake. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
I think that's a problem with review sites. Review sites are they're too opinionated and not enough like let's kind of look at what this is here. Like, you know what I mean? Like how they approach this, like making this song or making this record or whatever,
Sure.
But that's why I don't usually do like we have articles up now. Well, we only have one article up, but like someone asked me, can we do articles and like reviews? I'm like, yeah, but like, here's my stipulation. Like you got to if you're doing a review of something, you got to take your opinion out or at least put it in like, this is my opinion after you give this thing a fair shake because
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's really cool.
like,
I mean, they worked really hard on it. They deserve at least,
yeah,
if you're going to give them the attention, you don't have to just shit all over. You know what I mean?
Right. So that's something that like, I would never like, don't ever like, if you've got a critique, make sure you know, like bring facts to it. Just don't be like, I don't like this. You know what I mean? Like that's not a real thing. So, but
I used to write reviews back in the day and they would just be like, if you're going to do it, there was always rules to it. Like throw it back in the pot if you don't want to give it a good, if you're not going to have something good to say about it, because it's like somebody else might enjoy it. They deserve, somebody that might click with it rather than you just being like, I don't like ska music and just being like, this sucks. It's like,
man.
Yeah.
I go on record about me not liking ska, but I will say this: the ones that I find that I like, I love, and I like.
Yeah, for sure. Like Madness and a couple of the special stuff.
I had
that.
Power Up on they're from like Western Mass, and like they're more angry than me, and I loved it. Like you know what I mean? Cool. Like so, it was cool to see like you know what I mean. So yeah, no, you gotta be able to just kind of take things with, and like people who take themselves too serious when it comes to like reviewing stuff, and they think like they're gonna like, I don't know, change the way of the industry by their reviews or whatever. They can go fucking kick rocks, you know.
For sure.
So, all right. So, what do you guys have? I know this just came out, but what's up next? What's next for Damndest?
I think we're thinking about the live show thing.
We're gonna do more videos.
We got those songs kicking around that we haven't like finished up yet. Write a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think that like it's exciting just to finally put these to bed in a way, because it almost like gives you the freedom of like, well, then what's next? Like, where do we go from here? And I've heard some of Tim's like demos that have come on at different points, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to sink my teeth into that. And I have stuff that I cannot, like, so when we started recording more recently, like piecing these together, I was always an Ableton guy and Tim was a Logic guy, but everybody's sort of on Logic now. So I finally switched over to Logic, and it's like, you feel like you have two left feet. You're like, I don't know how to use this as well. So I need to like kind of get back to programming a little bit better to at least get the demos coherent. So we're going to probably just kind of get demos ready for what the next project will be.
Yeah, I was using Studio One for the longest time, and then I switched to Logic, and like I record in Logic and then edit in Studio One because I just haven't had the moment to. It's all the same stuff, but it's like different clicks, right? It's like
well, that's it. Yeah,
yeah. So I haven't had the time to really like, and I've been using Logic for like a year and a half now, so I should have the fucking time. But you know how it goes.
I do. Oh yeah.
So, well, that's
like,
awesome.
So you're gonna expect to hear some more Damndest by probably year end. I'm sure we'll have another. But these are 12 songs to like. 10 songs to like. We'll do some more videos and whatnot, and maybe do. I think we've talked about doing like some like from the basement style live sessions, just like recording in the rehearsal space.
God damn it, you're winning me over even more. Yeah, put those out there.
Yeah, just cool. Use what we have to our advantage, because the whole booking gigs and stuff is, we could just do it ourselves, just DIY it and just play in the space.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, do you guys have a YouTube channel?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Damndest Band, I think, or Damndest Band.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that's in there, because you guys do a lot of videos. Like,
we just put one out like I think a day before the album released. So
okay, yeah, I want to make sure I have a link to your YouTube for there so people can check out the video, because like I am. Videos are, I feel like, somewhat of a lost art. You know what I mean? And when they're done, like, because there is no more MTV,
right,
or VH1, right? I feel like people will just slap something together, but like I've seen your guys' stuff before, and like I know that's not what you're doing. Like, you guys put just as much like work into this and into the vibe of the video than you do for putting out the song, right? So like it's a lost art, and I'm happy to see people are still like, no, we got to do this, we got to put it out there. Now, I'm also not of the YouTube generation, so I don't know how lost of an art it really is, because I'm not like, I go on my YouTube to post a video for the show and that's it. You know what I mean? So
sure,
maybe there is a big music video thing out there that's well,
YouTube, you find stuff that you don't find in a lot of other places. So when, like, for instance, when you brought up 90s hip hop, I saw this DJ on Instagram posting top 10 lost classics, and I couldn't get them on Spotify. I couldn't find them on a lot of things, but YouTube had all of them.
Yeah.
So YouTube is a place that certain generational demographics do use. So it's just another outlet to do. Now, do they watch the music videos? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know, but YouTube Music is also there. So I don't know. It's just, I think the videos are fun. Like if it was up to me, I would be, on helicopters and stuff, and, but we use what we can, you know what I mean? It's like, we're not making like, Biggie Smalls Hypnotized video, but I would,
Yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, all right, man, I'll make sure I got the YouTube video in there. Shout out the social medias again, just so I can refresh it on the next on the
I don't know
show
all the
notes.
handles, but Instagram, I think it's Damndest Band. YouTube, Damndest Band. Damndestband.com.
Yeah, damndestband.com. We don't really, I mean, I would have a TikTok. I don't get TikTok. I think it's just a generational thing that
I post it on there, but like it's I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we have it. It's just, I don't think we've given it any attention at all beyond like a couple of clips.
I can't even log into it.
Yeah.
I don't even have the login.
Right on.
But yeah, it's like I think that mainly we post a lot of stuff on Instagram, I guess would be like the main place to go if you want info.
Mm.
And then like Facebook, I guess, is still kind of, I know it's the boomer one, but
Is it the boomer one now? Yeah,
rarely
that's
I
go to
guess I don't, dude, I have no idea what people do.
I don't know.
My kids, they're in a different world. Like they're on Snap. I would never touch Snapchat. I don't know what they're doing, you know? That's why I think being in a band is a young person's for that type of stuff too. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I will say, recently I've become friends with both of you guys on Facebook. My phone must have seen me replying to your email, and then all of a
creepy,
sudden
dude,
you
yeah.
guys were there. I'm like, all right, cool. I know these guys, you know.
Hell yeah.
So I don't post a whole lot, but
Just another tool in the tool shed, man. It's good to good to connect.
Exactly.
Plus, it's a good way to just. I like Facebook because you do get to just see people doing stuff that you're like, we're not going to call every day, but all right, cool. I see that they're great, and you can kind of keep up with their life and whatever.
That's few and far between these days, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, Tim, thank you guys again for coming back. Thank you for reaching out to me, because like I always say to everyone, like you guys are part of the Struggling Artist family now. Reach out when you want, and like I love when people do. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy for you guys, because this album's really good. It's phenomenal, and I can't wait to see what you guys bring next to the table. So
yeah, man, thank you so much. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it.
Of course. And all right. Well, let's hope for maybe by year end you guys will be back on. Maybe we can do like a beginning and an end cap to the 2026. We'll see. Right.
Would love
Happy to.